All right. Hey there. Greetings. Good morning. This is Sieg, and I have a very special Daily Marketing Coach member. I think you'll all recognize his name. Hey there. Good morning to you, Myron.
How you doing, Ann?
I'm doing awesome. It's good to finally connect. Well, I'm trying to recollect actually. You've been at our live events, haven't you?
I sure have. Yeah,
Okay.
Raw 4.
Oh, yes, I remember distinctly in the hallway our conversation. Okay, just brought back a flood of memories. Okay. All right, so with that, let's start off with tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, your background, and what brought you into the Daily Marketing Coach.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to thank not only you, but the 80/20 staff for giving me the opportunity to share. Right now, I'm a very seasoned military fighter pilot, but I can tell you I'm as nervous as I was on my first solo flight. So, um, yeah, that's my primary job is I'm a military flight instructor. I'm also an engineer with a major manufacturer in the U.S. And what brought me to Daily Marketing Coach was the fact that from the age of 16, I've always been a systems and standard operating procedure person.
Hmm.
And it's one of the biggest deficits that I see in the gurus and the online marketing scene now is they just don't have a very comprehensive and a strategic approach to what they do online. And the person that actually brought me in, if you don't mind my saying
Yeah,
who it
please
is,
do. I'd love that.
yeah, it's Pat Campbell. I've known Pat for a lot of years, and back in 2008, going back to that company when I started searching for my Plan B, Pat was instrumental in directing me here. I had already started to follow your content, and I was really impressed with the ethics, the principles, and the values. So some of the other marketers that I was following as well, they just started to drop off. So I think that the old adage where the cream rises to the top was quite true here because you never did you never did disappear from the top position.
Hmm. Okay, we'll speak a little bit more to, you're speaking my language, as you know, systems.
Yeah.
And so not everyone thinks in that way, nor is looking for that. But here you mentioned you were following other quote unquote gurus. Why are systems so important for your learning experience? You came here with some specific goals, but this was something that stood out for you as being valuable. Why has that been so valuable to you?
Oh, absolutely. From the time I was 14, that was my first flavor and taste of a very intense system, and that was my first flight in a Cessna. From then, I've been able to create and work with systems. So what I saw with Daily Marketing Coach was for someone who is completely new. Now, I'm a military pilot with an engineering degree, and what are my skill sets online? They're very limited. So I needed a training platform that had a very comprehensive system in place and strategies. And of course, if you know that these things work, then you're going to trust them and you're going to be motivated to use them even more. And that's one of the biggest things I found with DMC. I can remember my first login, and the way I saw everything was left to right, top to bottom. For me, that's logical. That's the way we all think, right? So when I started to see where you put your mindset training and how you've got everything strategically positioned and the way it evolves and opens up, it was just perfect for me because I had no knowledge. I mean, as far as online marketing goes, I was really at zero. I had other skills and they were very specific, but when I'm looking for a plan B and looking to open myself up, I knew I needed mindset training and I knew I needed the how-tos, but I really didn't see it in other training platforms. I made a comment earlier that a training platform is only as good as it is by the user who is motivated and is excited to get into it every single day. And
Yes.
I can truly and honestly tell you that this is a very disciplined start of my day is logging into Daily Marketing Coach. I do get excited because you just never know what's going to be waiting there for you. And it is a conclusion to my day before I go to sleep is logging off from Daily Marketing Coach.
Wow, you bookend your day, start and
I
end.
absolutely do. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, my next question, I think you've maybe probably fully answered, but definitely feel free to expand on it. Well, what do you like best about the daily marketing coach? You've said system. If there's anything else that you care to add to that.
Yeah. I'm just like Kurt said, I'm a Mach 2 kind of guy. I hate wasting time. I knew that I was behind the eight ball right from the start, even before I got into daily marketing coach, because I did not have a good skill set, nor did I have a good marketing knowledge. The systems were the biggest thing, but what I saw was that you were so results oriented and motivated that to me, coming from a military system, that is crucial. For anybody new that doesn't even know how or what to expect as a result, this kind of defined it step by step sequentially. And, I've heard the word linear used a lot. It absolutely is linear. And this is, for me, being a logical guy and just, being in systems my entire life, this was the only program that I could see that catered to my DNA. And I feel so natural here. It's just, it is a pleasure coming into Daily Marketing Coach every day and just even listening to Ask the Coach and see what some of the other feedback and banter is in the community. It's amazing. I love it.
That is wonderful. Yeah, I am very systems minded. My dad was a physicist, so I think that played into it.
I'm sure it did.
All right. So, you are the featured DMC Star of the Week. Here's my next question. What are some of the results you've been able to accomplish in your life and business as a result of the Daily Marketing Coach training and community?
Oh boy. Do you have a half hour? No. Okay. I'll be brief. I would say the biggest one is, trust. Trust is one of the biggest things that I have got here because of what happened through my mindset training. And the trust just keeps growing. And I was really at a loss where to share my latest experience in the corporate environment that I work. And I really did have full confidence in turning to Daily Marketing Coach. And what happened was I was offered a very lucrative position, climbing the corporate ladder, so to speak, because of some of the product launches and some of the things I've been able to do with my department and my engineering team. And I started to change my intent when I started to research candidates for a big project coming up. And it was through a webinar that I saw in one of the modules of the mindset training that I thought, hey, maybe I should try this. So it went beyond just a skills assessment and a people assessment. I started hanging around guys that I knew were influential, and girls, I have to be honest, and in interviewing them in a more personal way, not intrusive, but just, around the coffee pot or the lunch table at break time, I started to get a really good feel as to what these people really wanted to do inside this corporation. And it's really deceiving because they did not tell me some of the things that they were actually hired to do. They had other skill sets and other passions elsewhere. And these are the things I picked up on. So when I finally made my selection for one of the last product launches I did, some of my superiors were a little bit puzzled as to why I would do that. But we came under budget in every single segment that we were in. Our quality was 1 or 2 in the corporation, and our deadlines, we met every single deadline. And I couldn't believe it. It's like this was a dream. And I attribute that because to the intent that I had used because of this one module. And don't ask me what it was now. I actually have it downloaded onto my iPhone.
Oh.
And I do play it. And you know what? During the meetings, people listen. A bunch of engineers around a boardroom table, they, there's a lot of stuff going on. And finally, you do get to the graphs and the tables and the pie charts and all this stuff. But you know what? When it came time for me to stand up and start divulging some of what we were going to be doing and some of the people that I felt were going to be the most beneficial to this project, I had a bunch of guys coming on board like you wouldn't believe. And some people took notice. So I got offered a huge, lucrative, I mean, it was
Wow.
huge.
Oh my.
And I declined. Here's the good news. I
Oh,
declined.
oh my. But you attribute that skill development, that further insight into how to work with people, that particular module. You sure have my curiosity piqued on which module it was. But I think the most important thing is that you are definitely a learner, open-minded enough to absorb, receive would be a better word. More than absorb is to receive the information and to act upon it, and that you truly value it and see it as priceless.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I'm going to remark and say I'm saddened when I see people not utilize what we have there, but it is what it is. And I think your statement was so telling, and you are referring to something I referenced in last week's newsletter video, that you said if they are not motivated, oh boy, I've got that in arm's reach, but I don't think, nope, it's over on the table behind me, but I quoted that. They have to bring their mind and their heart engaged into the equation, or it's not going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. I learned the hard way. There were years before I actually um, took the challenge of getting into Daily Marketing Coach. There were years where I was just spending, incoherently without any direction. And this is one thing that I really have to caution new people against is be careful how you let your guru that you're following, how you let them define teaching, mentoring, and leadership, because in and of themselves, those are three separate and unique mindsets. And what I found with Daily Marketing Coach was you've taken the teaching mindset, the mentorship mindset, and the leadership mindset. This community is a breeding ground of leaders. I have seen it, and I'm on my way to being one. So I don't. I wouldn't overshadow the fact that you've got a training platform set up in such a way that, like you say, people will steer away from it or not steer away. Anything that has such a promise of massive results like what I see here does require devotion, and it requires commitment, and a serious one. So if you're willing to do that, then you're going to get the rewards of it. That I already know that.
Wow, extremely well said. Well, that segues into my final question here, which you've already covered, but you can feel free to expand on. What would you recommend for anyone listening to this interview who has an interest to start a business online, or someone wanting to market their existing business online? How can the Daily Marketing Coach help them?
Well, I'll just be blunt, and I don't waste my words. I would just say that if you want to end the cycle and the phase of confusion and overwhelm, then you really need to sign up and get on a webinar so that you can start getting some clarity. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, and so many marketers out there are so skilled in presenting their systems and their strategies and their standard operating procedures as a way to get rich in 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, that just does not exist. I'm talking from the perspective of someone who is completely new right from ground zero. And what I've been able to do here has impressed not only myself, but I'm willing to even submit that Pat Campbell has seen great improvement and great results from what I've been able to do here. And that's just me. I mean, there are people coming into DMC with skill sets already, much higher than what I had. You might have a marketing knowledge that's way beyond what I had. I had zero. And this is a lifetime project. And one thing I wanted to say, Ann, is I hope there's nothing that's going to steer you away in the future from doing what you do here, because not only are your morals and your ethics right on the money, but the evolution of what this community has been able to do and the mentorship that I've got here, this truly is a leadership breeding platform that I haven't seen online. I have never seen this. This is totally new for me.
Wow. Well, thank you so much boy, you're speaking right to the heart, aren't you?
That's all I got to give out there. I'm a very highly driven person. I have huge goals. And one of the biggest things that I've been able to mitigate here with Daily Marketing Coach and the great people that you have as certified trainers is I've been able to sort of downplay my need for perfection. You don't have to be perfect. In a different environment, my mentors there, my flight instructors told me you can't be perfect. And I'm like, well, I'm going to show you you can be. Well, so I still have that drive, and, reaching for the stars, you're going to hit the top of the mountain. So I know it's possible. And for anybody new, there's just like, just get off the pot and start doing something affirmative. Take that first affirmative step towards clarity, because that's what you need. Your biggest challenge now is your mindset, and I can guarantee you that almost 100%.
Mm-hmm. So we'll close with this. When you asked me about coming to RAW4 stands for Renegade Action Workshop, you asked me a question, and I told you something, didn't I?
Oh, geez, yeah. I remember that like it was this morning. I said I'd already booked my flight ticket. I booked a hotel, but you know what? In my mind, I knew that if I didn't want to come, I had an out. I would just lose the money. But the one thing that I asked you was, Ann, if I come, what's it going to do for me? Like, what can you guarantee me? Mm-hmm. And I don't think you're a person that makes false guarantees or empty promises. But you told me that if I come, I'm going to leave a completely different and changed person. And I'm going to have, the benefit of learning and meeting other people that were in the same boat as I was when I started. And I can tell you, that was last September 2013. Absolutely true to the nth degree, that I am completely changed. And I really, I get excited when I log in, and I get excited knowing that the next day when I can take this little baby here, I run my business off of this iPhone. Literally, I respond to you, oftentimes on my iPhone. So it's that excitement that breeds the motivation, and the motivation is going to lead to leadership definitely down the road. I know that.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you so much. I'm so glad we were able to connect. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to do this. This has been absolutely wonderful, and I'm very excited to share this with other people.
Yeah. You've given me a great benefit and a great privilege here, and it's not going to go, without great result and value added back. So I'm definitely a DMC or TFIer for life.
Good deal.
This is a fantastic platform. You just can't get enough of it.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, you have an awesome day, Myron.
You too.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.